Well, what makes me angry is that, you try to do small things in your own life that will make some sort of difference. And then you find out that even other parts of the country, or even like people in the next town over, aren't doing things. And so it kind of makes, it feels like it cancels out what you're trying to do. So recycling, like my grandmother's like retirement community or wherever she lives, they don't offer any sort of recycling program where she lives. They just have dumpsters. That's what's available to her. And so they throw away everything. They don't recycle at all. And we produce so much stuff, each week that we can recycle. But she just doesn't have the means to do it. She can't, she's an older woman, and so she has nowhere else to bring it. Her option is to walk downstairs and put it in the dumpster, and so she does. And so it's like, well, why am I putting in the effort over here if they don't even have the ability to do that where she is? And then when Kirsty was living in North Carolina, there was no recycling program where she lived. There was just trash pickup. There was no option. There was nowhere for you to bring your recycling. She also did not have that option. So she felt really strange coming from this, culture or whatever, where you separated everything, you cleaned it, and you and so she went down there, and you just literally throw everything away every single day. And so it's like you feel like you're making some sort of difference with what you're doing in your own life, but then you look at it on a bigger scale, and the same thing with what Jay was saying, like we do all we can here in the United States, but then China does what they're doing, and it just sort of, it feels like it cancels it out.
All of human society is just a series of carrots and sticks, right? Incentives are what drive people to do things. If your grandmother or Kirsty in another state had to pay more money to throw garbage away, because it does cost us all more to throw it in a landfill and cover it up with dirt, than to recycle it, then that would change their behavior somehow. And, sorry, Sarah wants to say something.
Well, I would say yes, probably, except that there weren't any systems in place on a larger scale. It wasn't like they were like, I don't care, I'm just throwing it away.
I'm saying, but if there was a system in place, their behavior would change, and they wouldn't feel
like Malden
really put out by that. That's just the system that's in place, right? We all are following a system right now.
Use the Malden example. Using
what?
Malden is like right next to Somerville, and a couple years ago they implemented a policy where you were each household was charged by how much their trash weighed. And so you had a recycling thing, which was free, so you could put as much as you wanted in that, and then you had a garbage, like a special container that they would only pick up the trash in that. And if you exceeded what would fit in the special container, you were charged per pound by how much you went over. And like the amount of trash that was, and this was like a citywide thing. They like issued everybody free bins, they explained how it would go, they did the rollout all at once, they explained it all. And the amount of stuff that got thrown away went like, and like recycling rates went way up, because people are like, well, okay, if you're going to charge me, then I'll just do it. Because, I mean, and this is another layer of like government intervention. Like people's government saying like, this is how it's going to be now. If you live in our town, this is how trash works.
Right.
But it was pretty amazing.
We only get one barrel. Anything above that, we have to buy a bag.
Yeah, it's crazy to go to an
but it's only
area
like
recycling is not a thing.
$2 a bag.
Still, exactly.
But still, you feel it, right? It's not.
Jeff's
I mean, it's
sister is the same way. Like they were so proud of themselves. Like they used to throw everything away, and they were kind of proud of that. Like they felt like it was their right, and they were so proud that Rentham didn't charge you for bags or anything like that. You could just throw anything you wanted away, and they would pick it up. And then same thing. I don't know how many years ago it started. It was in place when we moved here 8-9 years ago.
Was it?
I don't know, maybe not. Oh, okay.
Trash charge?
And now they're proud of recycling?
So now you can fill one barrel, and then anything beyond that you have to buy these special purple bags. And then you can, like you said, recycle as much as you want. And every time we have the conversation, Kim is so proud of herself that she's never had to buy a purple bag. Like she fits all, like when Nicole was living there, she and Artie now, like she's like, she always says like, we've never had to buy a purple bag. Like she recycles as much as she possibly can, and she fits everything in that barrel. So it's funny, like even the toughest, like the people who have these strong opinions about certain things, it's how quickly they change when it comes to having to put the effort in. And,
that is a great example. That gives me like so much hope. I mean, because you took somebody who was proud to pollute or whatever you want to call it, and then you made them proud to recycle just by changing a couple of rules. And
psychology is
it makes me think of like you remember Victory Gardens and all that kind of stuff in World War II. Like all of a sudden the government came down and said like, look, we're at war, we can't afford to waste any aluminum and all this kind of stuff, and so you donated it all, and also we need you to go around and find scrap metal and donate it and stuff. And people were really proud to help out in the effort, to contribute to the effort. Somebody just said, this is the system now, and this is what we're going to work in, and people were like, okay, that makes sense, and we're all part of the solution.